Welcome to Choppin It Up, a podcast powered by Journey, where we talk about freight, how people got to where they are, and their career journeys, pun intended. All right, let's chop it up. Hello, and welcome to a live episode of Choppin It Up here at Manifest 2025. I am joined by Alfonso Quijano and David Bell. I'm going to let y'all introduce yourselves real quick, but I appreciate y'all being here today.
I guess I'll
Age before beauty. Go ahead.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Wow. Alfonso Quijano here, live in the flesh from Colombia, CTO at Lean Solutions Group. Been working with this guy for the past, 10 years almost? Something like that?
Minimal, at least.
Yep.
You're a baby.
Yep, something like that. That's true. And I'm excited to be here, man.
Beautiful.
David Bell, founder of CloneOps.ai, former co-founder of Lean Solutions and a logistics company before that. And appreciate you having us on.
Of course, yeah. I appreciate y'all making time. So great timing to have the episode. I would love to have Alfonso tell us a little bit about what you just announced during your speech.
Man, it was pretty good. Bit of a ruffle there with Manifest demo in the beginning.
They pulled a switch up on you?
Oh, yeah, they did.
Do your whole
No,
presentation.
they were literally just said, nope, you can't do it anymore.
He said, no,
I said, you can't do that.
The rules? He's like, rules?
Yeah.
What rules?
But I always have, an ace up my sleeve, and it went great. I think we had the most amount of people gathering around. The guy before me had a cape on. So it was different. It was hard to top. But so we showed all the Lean AI strategy, what we're doing with AI agents, and working with companies to give them exception handlers and technology, and how we're partnering up with some of the most amazing tech partners out there to make that happen. CloneOps is one of those. Been working with David, like I mentioned, for a while now. We do great partnerships together with great work together. So I'm really excited about this one. Lean and CloneOps are going to do a ton of stuff.
That's awesome.
Moving forward.
David, tell us a little bit about CloneOps.
Yeah. CloneOps, came out of just the necessity of needing to transform logistics. People have been the most important and most expensive thing in logistics. And when we founded Lean, it was great because we allowed that ability to take a lot of those low level functions and back office jobs that people didn't really want to do and were hard to keep people in and transition them. And then Lean did such a good job and the people were so good, they ended up doing every job in logistics. And I would know. I stood up our office. Dude, you've been at Cartagena many times, poolside going, dude, let's get us some more people. Let's go. I remember one of the first ones we had with you, they messed up some refrigerator load or something. They were like, yeah, it's frozen. All right, don't worry about it. It's okay.
I was like, oh my goodness.
What the hell happened? What are we doing? We're pulling the plug and panic set in. I'm like, whoa, let's fix this, man. Come on. Yeah. But Lean's come a long way, man. Over 10,000 people. I'm so proud of what we've done there and what they're doing there. And I think that, AI came so fast and Lean, it just wasn't ready to move and transition. So what they've done in the last 6 months to transition and get where they're at today to be, I think they're going to be the top provider in AI solutions. Good. And I'm just happy to be, trailing along as one of the spokes in the wheel of Lean, because Lean's a powerhouse. Lean revolutionized logistics. So, and I think they're going to do it again with AI. And I'm just, I'm happy that I'm able to partner with them. We have such a good relationship that we're able to do it. So, it's pretty cool.
What you all have built and continue to build is incredible. The market leader in the space for the services you provide. I've got a lot of respect for both of y'all. I look at,
neutral, for sure.
I look at, both of you as people that I've been able to learn from, but specifically I spent a lot of time with you as a business mentor of mine, doing business the right way, take care of people, looking long-term. So when you think about the things you've learned, actually both of you, because you've been on a crazy journey building lean tech, when you think about what you've learned, how has that impacted this next venture? Really just business fundamental type stuff.
So experience is everything, right? So, the only thing difference between me and Alfonso is I got 20 years experience on them. You know what I'm saying? Like, you learn as you go. Like, if, we all start out, either we have average intelligence or better, and you start there. That's where you start, and then you just learn and experience. And, when in 2019, when we launched Lean Tech, we took, we are all sitting there and we're like, okay, we have this Lean Tech, we got Alfonso and 19 developers, and, we really don't want to be in the TMS space, but we had this TMS product for LTL, and we're like, I'm like, guys, the TMS space is not where we want to be. Like, let's focus on Lean. But what do we do with Alfonso? Like, and like, I'll never forget, we were literally in the Bahamas on a trip and had some key people there and good friends, and Kevin Noel was one of them. And I'm like, listen, guys, I'm going to take this Lean Tech, these 19 people, we're going to move it to Medellin, and we're going to become the best tech provider in logistics. And we're going to give tech talent, and we're going to build platforms. And me and him, and I said, okay, I need to hire somebody to run it. He's a CTO. Let's get a CEO. And we couldn't find anybody. Like, trying to find a CEO to run a company, like, it's near impossible. Yeah. So I said, I'll do it. I got to go down to Medellin now for, 10 days out of the month. Life's rough. And worst day. So we were actually roommates at Medellin. We got roommates. I'd go down there 10 days a month, and we were in Medellin. We had a badass apartment down there with a rooftop terrace, and we just started working. We started building capacity platforms and fuel optimizers, and we started doing all these projects and providing, what do you got, over 800 developers there now that we provide, over 800 developers, and we built some world-class products that people are using.
For everyone.
Yeah. Even just the interfaces, like this software's like McLeod. Like, anybody knows McLeod. It's a great system, but for the user, customers, it's not great. So we went in and built we convince people, get their API, build your front end, let your customers see your front end. We'll do all that. And we just did that, and just evolved and evolved and evolved. And it was fun. And then COVID hit, and I'm like, that was the last time I was down there.
Yeah.
And they took all my furniture out of it. I'm like, what the hell happened to all my stuff in my apartment?
Blasted. I will say, I wrote a story there. So David, he always, proceed whatever he's saying. He's like, all right, you ready for this? And then he's like, I'm thinking in 4D chess.
Okay.
So you're going to be here. And then a couple years later, you're going to be here, and we're going to do this. And it all played out exactly how it. So I'm really more in listening mode right now, just waiting for the next prediction.
It's crazy. And I think that people just think a certain way, and I see things like, when I see a problem, I just see a bunch of solutions.
Correct.
And some people see 2 solutions, I see 4 or 5. And it's kind of like playing, if you take soccer, for example, the best players in the world know what everybody on the field is doing and what they're going to be doing in 3 seconds from now and 5 seconds from now. And when you know that, and you could see that, for some reason, however crazy my brain works, when I see that, I see the whole development of the play, and I'm able to lead the receiver the right way. And I've just been doing that my whole life, and just believing it. Like, when I get a vision in me, nobody can tell me I ain't going to do it.
There's a couple elements of things y'all mentioned that I want to go back to. So the first is transportation companies attacking the creation of technology, regardless of what their platforms are, right? So use McLeod, use a Revenova, use whatever you're using, right? If there's a way to enable your people to do their jobs more effectively and then create a better customer experience, you need to do that.
Yeah.
Y'all have done that in spades, custom stuff, implementing people to build different tech, and then now your business changing the way people think about sourcing capacity or finding the right types of solutions. So that, to me, is fundamental, because our industry is a little antiquated, right? Some people are very much slow.
And it's not going to change anytime. So they're going to put AI in, it's still going to be antiquated 10 years from now.
Yeah, it's just true.
You'll have people using AI in an antiquated way. Totally. It's just the nature of our business, nature of logistics, right? You have a ton of people out there that just rolled up their sleeves, didn't get a Harvard education, just went and said, you know what, I can do this, and went and started their business and bootstrapped it from nothing and built it and built relationships. And that's like a majority of the logistics people out there.
It's a huge contingency.
And if you think about it, another key point you mentioned was, if you could be the best technology player in the market, you could have all the knowledge of all the PhDs you want. If you don't know logistics well, really key, you can't swear here, right?
No, you can.
All right.
Let her rip.
Look, they will work for though. I look at all these AI companies out there just trying to make a name for themselves, and some are legitimate, and I'm not going to say that. But if you don't have those fundamental knowledge, like it just, you won't get anywhere. And like, that's something that like people don't realize what, you know, David is bringing to the table, what Lean has been building for these past years. Like that's like, I think that's one of the most, you know, key things, right?
I think the reason Lean was successful is because I knew I made it work for my logistics company. I knew exactly what it needed to do to work for everybody else. So I'm doing the same thing on the AI. I know if I was a carrier rep, if I was in collections, I've done every job in logistics. I go, okay, how is this going to help me? Taking a call and transferring a call and doing all that, that's good. But I need to go deeper and better and further because everybody's going to have that and that's going to be nothing. And how can I make a difference? And I just think that what we built is the difference. And I think that's what's going to carry. Because all these people are going to buy. Companies are going to be able to create their own voice agent. Their IT, so their little techie IT guy is going to go, okay, I can do this. And he's coming back 30 days later and impress the CTO and go, okay, I got our own agent. We don't need anybody. You're like, okay, and that's true. They don't. It's not like anybody can build it. It's not that hard. But it's how do you build it? How do you build the workflows in it? How do you integrate it? How you do the whole thing and then provide that to a customer turnkey to where they don't have to invest the time and energy and do it. So
the speed of technology right now is insane. So every day there's something new that changes how long you may think it takes to develop software. And that is going to only accelerate, right? Like what you've built is incredible. There are going to be more and more implementations that make that happen faster. But one thing you mentioned that is interesting, both of you, is about understanding the space. So I have the opportunity to invest in cool companies, a lot of stuff that comes up. And I'm like, this is interesting. Let's talk about the nuts and bolts of the business. And I find it really, really challenging when I have conversations with founders who do not come from freight, who look at this massive TAM and they go, look how big the space is. And then my first question is, okay, tell me about your first 10 customers that you've landed. And the response is, we don't have any. I'm like, sweet. So you want me to write a check for this business that you cannot sell? Yeah. And freight is very fraternal. Like if you're in, people are very welcoming and open. But if you're not in and you don't know how this game is played, it's really, really tough to build from scratch. And I think that's an inherent advantage both of you have because of what you've been able to build.
Yeah, and it's just the relationships and the trust and people know. And when you look at over the years, and it takes years to build relationships. You don't just meet somebody. But listen, if I had somebody on the crap table last night when I hit 7 hard ways in one roll, I might have made a best friend. We might have been able to bond. It's different. When you're able to do that, you can bond a lot quicker. But when you're just building traditional relationships, it takes time. And the valuable time we're able to spend with clients in Colombia, off-site in a third world country where it's new to them and it's an experience, and that time you spend bonding, we did it. We became friends in Cartagena on the rooftop pool and going to work and going, okay, we need to have 100 people here working, and you'd said we do, and boom.
I can tell you with 100% confidence that had we not spent that time talking about the business and just getting to know each other, we would not be having this conversation.
And we did that with so many people, and it's genuine friendships and relationships. And I think that's the difference. And, and I think that, and we have so much of that. And then the people we have that with, have it with other people that we get the benefit of that. Like your network doesn't just go to you. Everybody you're going to help us because you love us, and you're going to go out and say, listen, you're trying to pick an AI company, you got to look at Dave and Alfonso and what Lean's doing and what Dave's doing, because that's who you can trust.
So I have a question about go-to-market that I think both of you are positioned well to answer, because people are always trying to figure out how to decrease customer acquisition cost and add more net new customers. Doesn't matter what you're selling, brokerage, tech, you want to do that. Cost less, add more. I think you all have cornered the market with what you just said and doing that well, which is strong partnerships with current clients that make it easier for you to have conversations with your next best client. Yeah. How do you execute that at scale? Because I talk to a lot of your sales reps and I'm like, man, you're like top 5 customers, well, like recommendations of like current.
So I'll tell you what probably did it best is, we had if you take Nick, Hunter, Ryan, the sales reps.
Dogs.
And
very much.
I basically told them it's the easiest way to get business. Just have somebody open the door for you and tell somebody to use you. So Hunter would be like, you know him. I'd be like, okay, you got this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy. And I put together a pretty cool advisory board with like Don Thornton and a bunch, John Larkin and Steve Hausman, all incredible people, man, just the best people in the industry. And I said, okay, every single person you try to get in contact with, check check with these guys and find out who they know. And, you know, Ron Ramsey, he was probably one of the best ones ever. That Ron, like,
that man knows everyone.
That man knows everybody, and not does he know everybody, everybody loves him. And like he took Hunter under his wing and said, come here, and right at the first conference, meet him. Yeah. And like, I think that's what we did best. And I just kind of like, we just like used that network to crush it. And they did. And like these guys, when you look at, I'm so proud of like that team now and the young team they were and where they're at now and what they're doing, man.
I have to tell a story, and then I have a question about your 4D chess analogy. So when we first started working with you all, it was winter of 2018 into 2019 while we were building Molo. And then spring of 2019, I had the opportunity to come down to like Fort Lauderdale, Miami, and spend some time with you and the team. And I remember being in an Uber with Nick Strober, and Nick was like, man, I've been working so hard, and like, you know, I'm doing my thing, like we're landing customers. I'm like, this is really hard. And I've been in sales my entire life. And I'm like, bro, I feel you. Because in the beginning,
was crying, it was hard.
He was like, this is really hard. Like, it was literally just me and him talking. But like, I have so much respect for him because I've seen him build an incredible book of business with just logos through the roof, like the best of the best. And having that conversation and then talking to him like 18 months later and seeing what he had built, I'm like, that's because you kept doing the work.
Yeah.
You kept doing the work.
I was just in the hallway talking to him now before, and I was saying to myself, he don't know this, he'll see it when he knows it. I was saying to myself, he's so seasoned now.
Oh, dude.
Like from the first phone call he took where he was in La La Land and had no clue, airheaded, like, hello, yeah, what are you calling about? Oh, it's Nick. Okay, Nick, what do you want? Like, what do you want? Oh, have you heard about lean? It's like, and now to look at him, he's so seasoned, man. But Nick, let me tell you something, man. Nick is hungry, man. And we used to go to trade shows. He had everybody's picture from LinkedIn memorized. He would see somebody across. We'd be talking to him, hey, Nick, what do you do? And he would go beeline right there. Hey, I've been trying to, and he literally knew people by face and like was chasing people down at trade shows. I'm like, and like, he did not care. He was boom, boom, boom. Cause Nick wants the money, man. Nick's trying to create wealth.
And I'll say something about that. I'll say something about that too, because when I just started traveling.
Shout out Nick. Shout out Nick.
Yeah. Started traveling, and like, you know, they allowed me to travel and talk to customers at one point.
2020 in government. It was Robert.
So it was like, yeah, he can talk to customers now. So, you know, David would, you know, you did a lot of things for Nick. You believed in him, and you're like, you know, you wanted to position him, and like, I think you wanted to oust. Like at one point, you wanted to go, and you're like, no, you're staying.
Nick, I told a story on a couple of podcasts. Like he said he wasn't, but he was packing going back to Minnesota. His ass was not coming back. And I said, you're not even.
I stayed with him when I would travel. So I stayed with him and I saw his evolution.
Yes. Did you stay in the condo? I did. In the townhouse. I'm sorry, his ass with Eve. That was a nice place. I cut him.
I stayed there with him, and he would like, I just see him pounding away and like go to the shows with them. And like, it was awesome to see. But at the same time, I was just seeing lean being just built from the ground up. Like, it wasn't just
brick
Nick. Like,
by brick.
Yeah. Like, you know, I remember the IANA show, freaking Hunters, like, we were sitting at the table, like, it was just like the four of them. And then like, Dave goes in and is like, what are you guys doing? Go connect. Go network with people.
So you're going to go to a trade show and all sit down at the same table to eat breakfast. But first time to sell, or you spread out in the room. What are you doing? You ain't going to get business from each other. What are you doing? And they're like, what? I'm like, yeah, get up, go and eat. And you better see 3 breakfasts. One with him, one with him, one with him.
Pretty cool to see.
Side note, throwback story. When I first started selling freight, I remember we would have
after knives, right?
After slinging blades. Yeah, they gave me true training in how to sell. They're like, it was crazy.
I saw Cutco in the mall the other day. I almost called you and sent you.
Sure. Holler at your boy. I'll make sure I get you the right stuff. So it taught me so much about how to sell. But I remember being at my desk as a year 1 carrier rep with that same philosophy, watching people, like, great environment, but they're, you know, at each other's desk talking. And I'm like, I don't want to talk to you because you don't have trucks I can book. So until you have an empty reefer in Sandston, Virginia, get the from my desk. I have to book freight. But you have to be so deliberate about the mentality if you're trying to win. Like you have to win.
But that's what winners. I mean, that's what competitive people do. Like you're over there. You know, the best basketball players in the world are shooting free throws, and everybody else is out at the club. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to do that, and then once you get there, you can go and enjoy life. And it's you know, that's where I'm at now. Like I'm 54 years old. I got 5 grandkids, and I work my ass off until now, and now I'm enjoying life, man. If I wouldn't have done that, if I would have been partying when I'm 20 and 30 and doing that, I wouldn't be. And now I got the chance to enjoy life with the means to like really crush it and go do it. You know, we've done some trips, so roll. So it's so like young people, just go crush it now. You party later when you got money. It's way better partying when you got money.
I will tell you this right now. Yeah, I don't regret any of the work necessary to get to where. Because the opportunities afforded to me now are better than what I would have been afforded at 20.
Totally,
no money.
totally.
That's just better.
People are lazy sometimes. You just got to grind.
It's easy to be lazy though. Like, right when you think about it, it's like, oh God, I got to do it. But you have a drive and you have to go get it. And like, there's no stopping. And you either have that drive or you don't. Like, that's I always say that. Like, and if you do, you got it. You're going to figure it out.
You will win. You will beat most people. Yeah. 4D chess and your analogy with soccer. So tech, crazy. I know enough to be dangerous. I do not really know what going on. I know enough. I try to stay sharp. But as a CTO that's leading this massive organization and change is so imminent all the time, like how do you stay sharp? And then how do you keep your customers in the know of how to just navigate what's new? Because every day is something new.
And I will say that I think this is kind of a curveball to what we were talking about just a little while ago, which is I believe that sales and logistics, at least, are getting just a little bit more sophisticated. Ooh. In the sense that, like, now you have all these AI things. So before you could make a decision with just the operators on the call. And now you're going to see more, tech people being all of a sudden present in conversations because they need to understand what type of tech you're bringing on, the scale. And like, you're not just going to bring any tech into your business. You want to bring something that's solid and like it's, proven. It has like certain things that are, that could work within your business. So I feel that there's going to be a massive sort of upgrade in how sales is being done. That's part where I think Lean is going to take a big portion. And then I also feel that, business leaders, CEOs, they just have to know AI like really well. Like you can't say that the CTO, like I'm probably not, I shouldn't be the smartest person or the most AI knowledgeable person in the business if you wanted to work. It has to be from the CEO down. And like you have to have the CEO go into the call and understand what it is that they're selling. It can't just pawn it off to the CTO. But you're the 4D chess point. Look, it's just right now. I think that companies don't know exactly what they don't know, and you're going to see massive amount of companies just going into different pilots and trying out to see what sticks. And eventually, they're going to make a decision. Like they're gonna find a company that is going to be able to streamline their operations end to end, and a lot of these other guys that are kind of floating around, there's going to be massive consolidation or just wipe out of existence. Like, and that's the way that I think it, and that's why I think we got to be so aggressive with what we're doing together, because like it's a race to the finish.
Oh, it's a race.
Yeah,
100%. I don't know if either of y'all have ever listened to the Acquired podcast. It's incredible. They do deep dives on just epic companies, Microsoft, Berkshire Hathaway, Andreessen Horowitz from the VC space. Yeah. And they often talk about companies winning the race to a market. So you take Uber, for example, it had a little hiccup with Lyft, and now Lyft is relevant, but they get into a market, they're the market leader, someone else is going to try. Good luck. You're only going to have so much market to get. The race is on. Like lace up some shoes.
Yeah, and we're ready. We're running. We're excited about it too, because it's just something new, and it's like the best thing of having me working and focus on CloneOps out here with AI is I'm having conversations. If I was still at Lean and I was a part of Lean trying to have conversations, it would be more difficult because like I'm with Lean and I've had conversations. So now it's new. It's a way to connect and talk about new stuff I'm doing in conjunction with what we're doing with Lean, and everybody's looking for Lean to bring value. How can you help me? How can you bring value? You know, we joke about it. For 5 years, everybody was great. We charged whatever because it was compared to US, and now there's competitors, and it's a different landscape, and everybody's accepted nearshoring. And so now customers are like, what are you going to do? What have you done for me lately? Like, where's my value? Where are you improving? Where are you giving me, you know, ROI, and how are you making my people more productive? And that's what we're going to do. We're going to make the people more productive. We're going to make them better.
Story.
Hit me.
So the build up to CloneOps, I've witnessed it. I saw it from the beginning.
Fun.
So David, 2019, looking at his phone, opening it up, talking to Siri, and he's like, this thing doesn't even work. You know, whatever I tell it to, it just doesn't, like, this there should be a better way, et cetera. This is nonsense, et cetera. So I had to listen to that for a good 4 years. And then all of a sudden, boom. You know, when he came up with it, I'm like, this is like...
Well, it's true too. And what we're like, some of the stuff we're innovating and building is like incorporating Power BI into our dashboard, where me as an executive, I could say, what was my load count yesterday? What was my margin? What was my margin compared to this time last year? What customers am I missing? What customers shipped last quarter that didn't ship this quarter, that my revenue's down? And I could speak to it like a business analyst. It'll talk back to me. Oh, your revenue was this yesterday, your revenue, because you got to run reports, and you got to take all the reports. You got to compare them all. Yeah. If I could simply ask my AI assistant, hey, take a look at what my numbers were in here and tell me the differentiators and the variance and why, and it prints it out, and then it'll speak to you about it. Like that's the kind of stuff we're trying to build into our dashboard to add value to make, because the AI, the voice AI and the cost, it's all nice and good now, but that's going to get less and less expensive. It's going to be less and less meaningless. Yeah. AI is going to be talking to AI, which means you don't need the voice anymore. It's basically going to be AI API is what we call it. And so where's the value going to come out of that with Lean and with us and to the customer after that's buzz and that hype is fizzled out? And I think just being able to take 10,000 employees for their 700 customers and add value and make them better, and CloneOps to be a part of making them better. And that's what's going to drive our success and long-term success.
So listen, it's a hell of a partnership. You also think about you're playing a game, and it's got to be long-term. And if you're not innovating today to protect your business 5-10 years from now, you will be wiped. Yeah. It's over. And so I remember going to a CSCMP conference in 2018, and the only talk I remember from that conference was a gentleman who was way ahead of the curve with AI. Essentially, he said, no one in this room needs to be worried about AI. You need to be worried about not using it if you're an individual contributor or a business professional that runs an organization, because the tools will be like putting a jetpack on your best performance. Right. What we want to do is take X number of loads, call it 10. We're going to make that 20. Yeah. Right. Let's up what that is. And for Lean, I can only imagine the massive impact this has on net retention of customers, expansion, the ability to truly provide more value. And it's a different game now. It's not just people, right? It's a very different game.
Well, it's going to help scaling too, right? Because, someone will call, and now the market's starting to come back. They'll be like, all right, I need 50 bodies. And we'll be like, okay, like it takes, time to get those bodies and interview and do it. So now if they could say, listen, I need 20 bodies because I have AI, it sucks that Lean didn't get the sale of 50 bodies, but by the time you stretch it out and do it, like it's so difficult to deliver that. And now it's going to be easier to scale. It's going to be easier to replace attrition, and AI is going to pick up the slack and right size a business where they can grow steady and not have this rush of all these people needed right now. Yeah. which will just smooth things out, right? It'll make things easier. And if you can handle attrition, replacement, and scaling and smooth that out, it's better for everybody's business.
And that's so, like, you can't forget that. I don't mean to change this from chopping it up to geeking it up or anything, but
we love geeking it up. All right, that's a new brand for the
look, man.
Geeking it up.
Blockchain at the time, I was gonna, like, head was gonna explode. I couldn't listen to it anymore. Right. Like, it was like blockchain fatigue, and I don't want to get to that point with AI. Because the fundamentals are always so important. Like, your AI doesn't work for if you don't have your attrition down, if you are not making, good decisions on your loads and your revenue, and like Jeff Bezos said, it's like people don't ask him enough, like, what's not going to change in the next 10 years that I should keep exactly the same. Yeah. And it's going to be service, it's going to be speed of delivery, it's going to be the fundamentals. And like, I don't think people are talking about that enough. It's like, relax with the AI. Let's focus on the business as well. And at one point, it's going to be ubiquitous. Like, everyone's just going to have it, and that's it. You don't need to sell AI.
But another beauty of that is that when that occurs, you still have to be good at running a business.
Exactly, yeah.
Well, you have to be good at relationships, and you have to be good at coming through and delivering what you say you're going to deliver. Yeah. And then having something that you can sell to customers that they want and need.
Totally. So as you get ready to wrap up here, I always like to ask, one favorite book that you may have read as of late or anything that you like. And then I want to make sure that if people want to get in touch with y'all, they know where. So any recent books or listens?
I mean, I always recommend this book because I feel that it's the most important thing while you're creating things, but it's called Why We Sleep. And it's a book that literally talks about your circadian rhythm and how you have certain strategies that you do to maximize your cognitive performance. Like if you don't sleep, if you don't like stay on point, like you just won't be able to perform in any way, shape, or form. So like I really like that one.
I love sleep, so I will be picking that up.
There you go. Cool.
Anything?
Man, I can't read. I have such a low attention span. Dude, if I can't read. If I start reading, I'll get to like the third page. I go, what the hell did I just read? I can't focus on reading, but one of the best books that was most influential in my life was 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. That book helped me raise kids. It helped me understand like that book, and I read it 30 plus years ago, and I still real. That was amazing. If nobody's ever read that book, that's a book, a must read.
Okay, so what are the best places to reach out to y'all to learn more about lean tech? And you, Alfonso, learn more about CloneOps, learn more about you, David. Best places for people to reach out.
Well, at the Manifest demo, we deployed our little QR code named Maria. It's an AI voice agent that will send you all the information you want about AI and about what Lean Solutions is doing there. But you can always do the good old sales@leangroup.com, and you'll get Nick to immediately call you. No, just immediately. Yeah, immediately.
We're creating an AI at Nick. We're going to duplicate him.
People hit you on LinkedIn?
Hit me on LinkedIn, Alfonso Quijano, probably the Alfonso Quijano.
Yeah, right, exactly. Don't get it confused.
There you go. There you go.
Yep. 100%.
Yeah, no, I'm on LinkedIn. I'm usually pretty good about answering LinkedIn, and you can send info at CloneOps.ai, and but LinkedIn, I'm pretty good on LinkedIn. So yeah, if you want, I give you my cell number, but that's
we're putting this out there in the internet. We're going to a whole bag on the cell number. LinkedIn, email, all that good stuff. I really appreciate y'all making some.
Nah, I love you, man. Thank you.
Too.
Yeah,
of course. Good stuff. Good to see you, boys.